What's going on, you guys? So thank you for watching my new video. Today we're going to continue the series on map control basically, and today we got StandOff, you guys. So a lot of people requested StandOff due to the fact that it's a scrim map and a very popular map. And this picture that I got, just so you guys know, this is actually from Black Ops 2. It's the best one that I could find on the internet, but I mean it'll work because the map literally looks exactly the same in Call of Duty Mobile. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. I don't want to make this video as long as the last. So basically, if you guys can't tell what's going on here with this aerial view, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking the the first spawns. I'm sure you guys can tell, but just in case you can't, make this a little bigger. So here is the first spawn, and here is the second spawn. So basically, let's say you get hardpoint in this map. The spawns on this map are a little tricky, I'm not gonna lie, because there's a lot more spawns in this map than most maps, I think. I mean, that's how I feel about it from my experience from playing. So basically, there's a lot of options they have here, you guys. So obviously there's the two main spawns. These are obviously really big spawns, but the second, aside from the main spawns, you guys, one of the biggest spawns in this map is this whole area right by this gas station. This area is a very big hot spot, and even over here to the side of the gas station, this is what a lot of people call back alley. These are huge spawns in the game, you guys. So basically, I'm gonna go ahead and try to explain when and why they would be spawning in certain locations, but also take in mind boxes over here, what people would refer to as boxes. This is also a spawn, you guys. This is a spawn. The tractor is a spawn. They can spawn over over here by the tractor, and obviously the two mains. So there's kind of a lot of spawn points in this map, but like I said, the most popular would be the two main and the gas station. The boxes one and the tractor one they are kind of active, but they're not as active as the other three, you guys. Definitely not as active. So basically, let's say it's Domination. If you guys have A, B, and C captured in Domination, or even just A and C, they are going to spawn at the gas station. The gas station, because your team is typically, if you have those captured, your team is typically running around in this area and this area, and they're going to be spawning gas station for sure. Gas station and in this area and back alley that we talked about. That is just 100% positive. It's very easy to get the spawn trap going when you get this situation going. But let's say you don't have, all three bases captured, or you don't have A and C captured, and they're not technically in the spawn trap yet. So if that is the case, basically they will probably spawn. Okay, if you don't have C captured, which would be right here. If you don't have C captured, they're gonna be spawning basically anywhere from gas station to the main spawn. So they can spawn over here at gas station, or they can spawn over here at the main spawn, typically in this little hut. I've noticed that's a big one, or right here, back here. So basically in this whole general area, they will be spawning if you do not have C captured. Now, another thing, if you don't have C captured and your whole team is running around in this area trying to go ahead and get C, this is usually one of those situations where they actually might spawn at boxes or tractor. To be honest, I don't think that's the case. I think tractor is if the situation is reversed and you guys have C and you don't have A. We'll explain that a little bit later in the video. So yeah, just know if your whole team is running around this whole area trying to capture C, they're probably also not only going to spawn back here, but they're also going to spawn in the boxes area right here. So keep that in mind. Now, let's say the situation is where you have C, but you don't have A. So obviously, if you don't have A, they're going to be spawning over here at the main spawn. Now, if your whole team is running around here trying to get A, that is when they actually start spawning over here in back alley, and sometimes occasionally right here on the tractor. So you can expect them to come from anywhere in this area, or even pop out of here and try to get you guys off A. So keep that in mind. Now, oh, and also they actually might spawn gas station as well if you guys are running around A. It's very, like I said, gas station is a very, very big, very strong spawn point in the map. So always expect that, dude. Gas station, you can always expect them to spawn there, in a lot of situations. So now we're gonna dive into hardpoint. Hardpoint's a little more tricky because hardpoint, your whole team is really just running around the map. They're not really trying to focus on specific bases. Obviously, they're trying to focus on the hardpoint, but a lot of times you'll find your team kind of just all over the place. So the spawn points, you guys already know. We have gas station, we have this area, tractor, and boxes. And of course there's back alley as well. These are the spawn points. So for hardpoint, it's kind of just a matter of seeing where your team is already at. When you kind of like when you kill a person, I guess, and you see where your teammates are at on the mini map, you can kind of expect where that person is going to start spawning. And usually when one person spawns in that spot, as long as your team is still getting kills, more of their teammates will spawn next to that guy, because he's kind of anchoring that spawn now, I guess you could say. But I think we want to focus more on power positions for hardpoint, you guys. Which for hardpoint, power positions are, again, they're kind of hard on this map, because this map is actually, I don't want to say it's big, but I mean, you have this big building right here in the middle, what a lot of people refer to as grandma's house. I don't know why that's the call out for it, but it is. So that's what I'm going to be using in the video. So you have this big building in the middle. So the map, that's kind of a really big obstacle in terms of getting map control. So basically, let's say it's at the first hard point, which would be right here in courtyard, right in front of grandma's house in the front yard. So this one, it can actually be really easy to hold if you guys anchor the right spots and hold the right angles on this. So basically, what you really want to do, what I usually do is I try to stay inside this house and make sure they don't come through there. And there's a good reason for this, you guys. I'll explain my reasoning on why I stay in here. Because a lot of times they're going to spawn back here or at gas station. And if you kind of sit on the stairway and you watch right, what would be like this way, and you watch this way, and you make sure they don't come through that door, they're not going to be going upstairs and, you know, jumping out and popping out and flooding the hard point on your teammates. And they're not going to be going from the downstairs area and popping out of the downstairs area and again rushing and surprising your teammates. So if you kind of watch that house and make sure they don't come through there, all your teammates have to watch is these entrances, these two entrances. It makes it a lot easier for your teammates. Not only that, but a lot of times the hard point spawns for this, like if your team is all trying to hold the first hard point, you can almost guarantee they're coming either through here or through these two spawns. There's no other way. And more likely they're going to be spawning here. This is going to be a really, really strong spawn in this situation, along with this right here in gas station. So if you watch this back house, the majority of the time, your team is just going to be watching this area. Because if your team, here's some of these markings. If you're watching making sure they don't come through the house in the back, your team really honestly mainly needs to focus on this area right here. And I'll explain why. Because they're mostly going to be spawning over here. And if they spawn over here, they're either going to try to go around or go through middle and come through this back way, or they're just going to straight up rush right here. And this is also very easy for you to help with as well, because your team sometimes has to focus on this entrance. And what you can do, if you notice that nobody's coming through this area, then you can guarantee they're spawning over here and coming from this main spawn. And what you can do in that situation, you can go downstairs, in the downstairs of the house. Honestly, you guys, I wouldn't go to the upstairs area. The upstairs area, I've noticed, is very easy for people to get you out of. Like, it seems like it wouldn't be, but they can actually like laser you straight through the windows and get you out of there. So what I typically do, if I notice that they are all coming from the main spawn and trying to rush my team, I'll go to the downstairs of the house, and from the downstairs, I'm kind of hidden by these little, I don't know what they are, but they're little like things that kind of block half of your body. You guys know what I'm talking about if you can picture the map. It's like right inside the doorway, you know what I mean? So I kind of I just strafe back and forth behind those and watch this entrance, you guys. And I kind of help my team make sure that they're not coming through that entrance. So that way my team can also, you know, they don't have to focus so hard on it, and they can focus on this entrance right here. That will help you a lot. That's the best. If you can understand anything I just said, that's the best advice that I have for the first hardpoint. Now, from there on out, the first one's always the hardest to hold. So from there on out, it's just a matter of holding the right angles. So after that, it's gonna end up going, the hardpoint's gonna move to this area, which a lot of people I know call this warehouse or factory. And basically, when it goes here, you need to be prepared. What I mean by prepared is typically I will start rotating. Like, people say 15 seconds, but to be honest with you guys, if you're going against a really good team, it is all a matter of who locks down those angles first. I typically rotate at like 25 seconds. And if you lose the first hard point, it is what it is. At least you got the most time out of it. So I typically rotate at about 25 seconds and let my team just try to, I guess, do whatever they want. They can either try to hold this down or rotate with you. But I will rotate at about 25 if we're going against a really good team. And typically what I do is I'll just start running around this whole back area and watch this way and this way. Because as long as you're back here, they're probably going to start spawning over here at this main spawn or in this area. So they will be coming from this way and back alley. Back alley is a very popular one, actually. Or, actually they will also go through the middle house and start coming out of there as well. So basically, this one is just a matter of who gets them angles first, you guys. I'm not even gonna lie, it's very hard to break this hard point if they get there first. So the angles that you really want to hold, you want to have someone standing here and watching this way, and you want to have somebody watching this area for sure, because they're going to be coming. If they come from this area, this is a very popular move. They'll try to jump up on this right here and come in through the window, and that can make it really challenging for your teammates. Also, for the people that are in the hard point, you definitely want someone standing right up here with a trophy system and watching the window, because what they could do is if everyone dies and they're still up here, it's very hard to get them out of that sometimes for the other team, and they can kind of contest it for as long as possible until your team either gets to that hard point or it moves and your team can just focus on rotating. So always have someone up in that little office area. So that's the best advice I have for that hard point, you guys. It's all a matter of holding down these angles. I'm gonna go ahead and point those out one more time. And also be sure to watch right here, because they're going to be coming out of this house. A lot of people will try to push through that house. So these are the 3 best angles to watch on this hardpoint. So now we're going to go ahead and go to the next one, which will go all the way right back here by this main spawn. Now this one, there's a trick to it kind of, because if you have people rotate really early and they anchor this spawn, as you guys already know, this is a very popular and active spawn in the map. So if you can get your team just spawning in this area, that's going to help you tremendously. It's going to be really overwhelming. You're going to move with overwhelming force on the other team because of the fact that, you know, they're going to kill one of you, and then you're just going to spawn right back in this area, and it's just like endless for them. So it makes it very hard for them if you anchor that spawn. Now what I typically do is, I mean, this one is kind of self-explanatory. It's inside the house upstairs. Really just watch the stairway, which is like right here. I'm trying to outline it through the roof. But just have someone watching that stairway, and then have the other people basically watching the 2 windows. And it's good to have as many people as possible in the hardpoint, you guys. Honestly, this hardpoint, it's so small, compact, and it's inside the house. If your whole team is in there, man, with trophy systems, it's really hard for these people to, I mean, unless they do a really overwhelming rush all at once, which is really hard to coordinate. I don't think I've ever seen that perfectly done, and if it was by accident, and it wasn't really coordinated. So if you have your whole team in there, really, that's just a trick to that. Keep the whole entire team in that house, you guys. Don't let anybody move from there, and just basically hold it down as tight as possible. And not only that, if one of you dies or gets picked off through a window or something, typically you're going to spawn either right here or right back here, because your team is anchoring the spawn with the fact that they are all in the house. But if you have people running all around the map, you're not really anchoring the spawn, and you have a chance of spawning somewhere else. So the best advice, get everybody to go inside the house and just hold it as much as possible. It's actually a really easy hardpoint to hold, in my opinion. So now after that, it's gonna go right back here to this area. Now when it goes here, really what you want to watch is you want to have people watching this area back here, and a very popular move, have someone in this head glitch on the boxes. Put a trophy system right here, and just make sure they don't come through this. I mean, this is really easy to watch. You just have to make sure they don't come through this little opening right here. So this one's pretty easy to hold, in my opinion, too, as well. If your team does it right, you literally just got to watch this area and have some people watching this area. Honestly, literally one person can sit in the hard point for this one, while the other team just slays and watches. Like, you know, 2 people watch this area, 2 people watch this area. That's probably the best advice for that one. So that's my best advice, you guys, that I have for standoff. And like I said, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not going to drag it out. That is the best tips I got for you guys, and you know, standoff map control. So thank you for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. Go ahead and leave a comment with your tips and suggestions. I mean, you guys can contribute to this. If there's anything that I missed, feel free to go ahead and comment with that. But thank you for watching, and peace out, you guys.